This is the best quesadilla I have ever made. Out of this world, tremendous. The first thing you want to do is quarter down a couple Roma tomatoes. Toss these onto a cute baking dish. Cut up half a white onion. Introduce a couple cloves of heartburn. A jalapeno with its seeds. Last but not least, drizzle on some olive oil. Nice hefty pinch of salt. And then we're just going to bake these at 425. We want them to get nice and toasty and release all their beautiful juices. Now for the steak marinade, start with some fresh orange juice. Squeeze down a lime. We need that acid to tenderize the meat. So I like to add the heartburn into a mortar and pestle. Give that a light pinch of salt. And then I'm going to give this a ground and pound and add it to our marinade. For some nice deep color, add some Worcestershire sauce. I promise you it's not that hard to say. Do a handful of cilantro, just measure it out with your heart. Now to season this bad boy up, hit it with a nice hefty pinch of salt, some paprika and chili powder, and then I'm gonna do a little bit of cumin, and then finally finish with some black pepper. And for me, I like to add a little bit of thin cut white onion. To our cold plunge of flavor, I'm gonna toss in our flank steak. Just make sure in between the meat you're layering down those onions. Marinate until you lose patience, but seriously consider it this time, it needs it. In the meantime, you wanna grab some queso Oaxaca cheese. Keep it in the fridge until you wanna grate it, because when it's nice and firm, it glides better. Alrighty, now it's game time. The veggies have been rolling for about 20-30 minutes. Just make sure you let them rest after you pull them out. Toss them into a food processor or a blender. Just a quick handful of fresh cilantro. Splash in some white vinegar. And then season it up with the same seasonings as the marinade. Blitz her all up. And now you have the most scrumptious quesadilla salsa. I'm gonna grab our marinated flank steak and just go into a scorching hot pan. Onions and all. Steak gets cooked to your preference. I'm going for a nice medium rare. It's super vital for these to rest. Flank is usually not that fatty, so it needs all the help it can get. You see the fibers on the meat, how they run down? It's really important to slice across the grain. This will result in a more tender bite. And because it's a quesadilla, I'm going super thin. And then I'm gonna give these a nice little tiny cube. It's totally fine to have meat on the rarer side because it's gonna keep cooking in the quesadilla, but it's still moist. Flat pan gets a really light spray of oil. Large burrito tortilla goes in flat. When it gets slightly warm, just give it a flip. Layer on your queso Oaxaca cheese. And I promise you, if you lactose, it's worth it. When it starts to melt and talk a little crazy going with your meat, a very generous but thin layer. Don't you forget, we work graciously for this salsa. Again, form a very generous and thin layer. One more tortilla goes on. Place a flat plate on top. Flip over your pan. Another layer of oil. And just toast the side you just added. This is truly a work of art. That is just gorgeous on so many levels. Out of this world, tremendous. I'm almost gonna fold it in half like a pizza. And as always, now bismillah. Unbelievable. On all levels was this amazing. Apparently there's a new way of eating quesadillas at Chipotle, so let's make this bad boy at home. With the vinaigrette, that is up there with whatever list I got. Fajita veggies are pretty simple. I don't want to mess with these today. Scorching hot pan, get some oil. Onions and peppers go in. Gonna hit them with a little dried oregano. Finish with a light pinch of salt. And it seems like Chipotle likes to keep their vegetables nice and crispy. Apparently this quesadilla needs Chipotle's vinaigrette. I recently watched an employee disclose how they make it. In a blender, go in with some red vinegar. We add a little bit of honey, a quick splash of water. Chipotle's in adobo. We're gonna give this a blend on low as we drizzle in some oil. To finish this operation, all we need is some black pepper and oregano. Drop this into a glass container. Now you have Chipotle vinaigrette for a couple weeks. In another hot cast iron, I'm gonna start with some oil. Cube up your favorite steak and just drop it like it's hot. When they start arguing back, salt and pepper. And just please don't overcook your steak. I'll finish off in the quesadilla. For this part, I prefer non-stick. I'm gonna give it light oil. Introduce a large flour tortilla. When it's warm on one side, I like to flip. The order consists of extra cheese, so that's what I'm gonna do. Generous amounts of queso Oaxaca goes on. Remember those beautiful fajita peppers? The most juicy and tender steak. Honestly, I like to load it up until it's ready to fall apart. It's time to fold this on itself. Just press it with weights and toast it until crispy. So apparently you gotta take some sour cream and mix in that vinaigrette. We're gonna give it a quick little dunk. And as always, now bismillah. That is out of this world.
Healthy, high-protein, cheesy chicken quesadilla. It tastes incredible, so easy to make, and perfect for weight loss. Start by seasoning your chicken with salt and pepper, garlic powder, paprika, and oregano. Mix well, then make the green sauce with half an avocado, low-fat yogurt, coriander, garlic powder, salt and pepper, and lime juice. Blend till thick and creamy, then cook the chicken on medium heat for 8 minutes, then shred it up into pieces. Next, add your eggs in and place a low-calorie wrap over it. Let it cook, then flip, add tomato slices, season with salt and pepper, add the shredded chicken and low-fat cheese. Fold and toast both sides, serve with the green dipping sauce, and you're ready to enjoy.
We're gonna be taking some of these and making delicious vegan sheet pan quesadillas. Say it with your chest. Sheet pan. Gotta clarify. Because if you thought you heard an I after the SH but before the T, amusement levels for this recipe go. Need a large pan? This is a pot. Need a large pan? That's it, you beautiful, man. Add onions, red bell pepper, then stir. Add garlic, stir again. Don't take too long playing hockey with that garlic, it'll burn on you.
Next, drop in your beans and tofu.
Now hold on a sec, I didn't appreciate tofu at first either, but this was based strictly off the name. I'd be like, sir, I'm vegan. I ain't eating nobody toe or anybody food. In with chili powder, smoked paprika, I like to call it paprika, cumin, black pepper, soy sauce, lime juice, cilantro. Stir around, then set aside. Where's my bacon sheet? Oh, there we go. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tortillas. Hold on, let me take these off. I forgot to spray the bacon sheet. But when you pile them on, let them hang over, like wings. This is on purpose. Here's me emailing Red Bull. Dear Red Bull, I don't need your wings, I got tortillas. Drop some vegan cheese, drop some mixture. Drop some vegan cheese, drop some tortillas. Ha! You thought I was gonna say mixture. Fold up the wings, hold the wings down, then bake. Pull it out the oven and watch that cheese pull. Hold up, I am lying. Ain't no such thing as a vegan cheese pull. Let's face it, vegan cheese got about the same flex as a dry pasta noodle. But this quesadilla is fire. You gonna wanna make this one for your mama.
All I've been seeing on my TikTok this past week is the quesadilla from Chipotle, so today we are going to make it at home and even better. It basically tastes like the Chipotle version of a Philly cheesesteak sandwich, and it's so good. The first thing we're going to do is make our vinaigrette, so to a food processor, add your vinegar, honey, mustard, lime juice, black pepper, salt, paprika, garlic, oregano, adobo, and chili powder. While you blend that in, you're going to slowly stream in your oil to emulsify it, and that's basically it. Now for the fajitas, we're just going to add some green bell pepper and red onion and saute in some olive oil and your spices. For the best part, we got our marinade for the steak, which is some garlic, chili powder, salt, oregano, black pepper, cumin, coriander, adobo, and some olive oil. Sear on both sides, chop it up, then add some cilantro and lime juice, then you assemble your quesadilla, and that's basically it.